And we're live. Welcome back for another stream. What a crazy week it's been. I'm on a -4 already, and I'm looking at taking a -8 during this stream. I'm still on the fence, but I think I'm going to do it. So welcome all of you to the stream. It's been a big day as well for the channel's growth as well. I made my debut on the FPL show earlier. Where is it? And my Sky Sports debut. This is actually going live on TV at 6 o'clock UK time, so that was a really cool experience. And we also hit 170,000 subscribers during the, today, about an hour ago. So it's been an awesome day, so thanks very much for that. And yeah, it was really cool, really surreal to be on the fantasy show, chatting with Liv and Sam in the studio. So that was very fun. I told them that Haaland's dad sold him on FPL. So I did actually ask the producers in advance. I was like, can I say that or not? And he was like, yeah, that's fine, you can say that. You're just not allowed to talk about leaks and that sort of stuff on TV, which is fair enough. But yeah, the whole stuff with like Haaland's family and his mate selling him on FPL is obviously all public information. So they were okay with me saying that. But yeah, it was a really good experience. Really enjoyed it. So that was exciting. And as soon as it finished, they messaged me and they were like, you were great, mate. You were like natural. And they asked me straight away if I'd be interested in coming back on. So yeah, it's been a great day, and I hope you've all had a good week and a good day. Welcome all of you to the stream. Welcome Sponge Bay, Virtual, Slaughter, Alfie, Brian, Motaz, Chris, British, Pranav, Shamsidine, Andre in the chat. Shout out to Andre, the guy who built the fplfocal website. We've made a few improvements to the site this week, actually, which I should definitely talk about while we're here. Assam Gaming, Rasmus, Jordan, Christopher, Barry, welcome everyone to the stream. Knockdown Bully says the -8 is a trap. I haven't even told you what it is yet. A lot of people are saying welcome back for another video. I couldn't say that because it wouldn't have made sense. The first thing they said on the show was, I understand you've taken Haaland out, and so I had to talk about that. Okay. Imagine if I'd said welcome back for another video. Yes, I have. I've taken Haaland out. Yeah. So also, shout out to anyone that left the comments on the video. It went up on the Premier League's channel earlier, and I was skimming through the comments, and a lot of them were like, shout out to Focal, big up Focal. So thank you everyone that left a comment on that as well. But yeah, it's on Sky Sports at 6 o'clock, so that's exciting. But it clashes with this deadline stream, so you're going to have to pick one or the other. So, Ryan says, what's with the -8 tweet? So, I've taken a -4 already. I've sold Haaland for Solanke, and I sold Cabore for Pedro Porro, and I'm considering another hit to go Archer to Alvarez. I just think that fixture's got goals all over it. I really think City win that like 4-0. What's your real name, Focal? It's Oscar. Good to see John in the chat as well. Good to see Holly Shand in the chat. Welcome all of you to the stream. Yeah, so I'm considering Archer to Alvarez as well. I know he's got the blank in 18, but that's fine. I can just bench him for that. It leaves me with a bit of a headache in 19, which is one reason I'm put off by it. And the other reason I'm on the fence is because it means benching Gordon this week. So it really depends on if Gordon's going to start or not. So yeah, that's what I'm considering, Archer to Alvarez. I really think if you're on a wild card or if you've got a route to Alvarez, I think he's such a great transfer this week. I mean, if we pull up the market odds, look at this. So the market odds have adjusted for Haaland's absence. And Alvarez is shot all the way up. 31% chance of scoring. Same as Salah. Alvarez is literally on par with Salah in terms of projected goals. A matter of 0.01, so 31%. 22% chance of scoring 2 or more. Obviously, Salah on paper is still the better captain because he's a midfielder. But I just think Alvarez is such an opportunity that I think a lot of people are overlooking. And also, based on Pep's comments, I think that Haaland could be out longer than we think. Because Haaland said hopefully he's got a chance of making it to Saudi for the Club World Cup. So when he says hopefully, like, that says to me that there's potential for this to be a more serious injury. And Alvarez would just be a game breaker if he's a nil starter. So do you guys agree with that? Jamie asked Alvarez or Watkins. I still think Watkins between the two, because he doesn't have the blank in 18. And sorry, yeah, he doesn't have the blank in 18, and he's home to Sheffield United, so he's going to be one of the most popular captains, if not the most popular. So I'd say Watkins, I'd put ahead of him. Probably Solanke in second, and then Alvarez. But I've got that option to get to Alvarez. And yeah, Alvarez has got a nice fixture in 20, I think it is. Sheffield United home. That's when Gordon's got Liverpool away. Solanke's got Spurs away. So that's kind of perfect as well. I'll have the option to bench one of them. Zelda, thanks for the super chat. He says, afternoon, sir. It feels like there's a stream every day. It really is. I think I've still got yeah, here it is. I've got the December schedule here. It's crazy how much FPL we've got coming up. Are you guys buzzing for the amount of football we've got? So over the next 15 days, what have we got? 5 days off? Is that right? Yeah, that is right. So today's the 15th. Gameweek 17 there. Oh, you can't see my cursor. And then we've got 3 days off from Monday, and then it's just Christmas Day off, obviously, and then it's the 28th off. So between now and the end of this month, there's only 5 days off. So lot of FPL coming. Do you guys like it when it's that busy or not? Let's do a poll on it. Love it or hate it? That's the poll. First poll of the day. So yeah, welcome all of you to the stream. We'll do the news roundup in a second. There's a lot to go through from today's presses. Lots to go through. I've got about 10 screenshots covering everything that you need to know from today's presses. Virtual says, give me more FPL. Greg loves it as well. So does Epics. I love it as well. It's great. It's quite hard to maintain the upload schedule, but that's just part of the challenge. Busiest month of the season. So there's going to be a few double upload days coming up, which I've pre-warned my girlfriend about. Because I'm not very good at replying to messages when I'm just locked in. FPL's like a toxic relationship, says Virtual. You like salad fingers in the chat. He says mixes up a bit, gets a bit too stale, the same every week. Clean sheet odds. Alright, I'll pull the clean sheet odds and then I'll try and pick out some questions. Get your questions in, or your team-based questions. Navi says triple captain Salah. I would save the triple captain. I know it's a great fixture for Liverpool. I know Man United have got a shocking record at Anfield, but for me, triple captain always belongs in a double game week because you get 2 games out of them. So you're always likelier to get something in a double game week. Always. So therefore, I'd always use triple captain in a double. David says Saliba to Porro -4. I've got double Arsenal defence. I wouldn't sell Saliba. I feel like he could be a season keeper, and you just have to ride out when he's got a couple of tough game weeks. And he doesn't even have a tough game this week. He's got Brighton home. So I wouldn't be selling Saliba from -4. I mean, what are the clean sheet odds? 37.5% chance. So you're buying Spurs with a lower clean sheet odds, but obviously Porro's got more upside. But no, I wouldn't be selling Saliba to Pedro Porro. I'd find another way to make that move myself. So 89% love it when there's more FPL, 11% don't. I thought so. We're all absolute FPL addicts. Otto, thanks for the super chat. Dubravka, Mikalenko, Trent, Saliba, Son, Salah, Saka, Bowen, Watkins, Alvarez, and Nunez. Oh, okay, so it's A or B. Areola, Pinnock, Garnacho, Taylor. Is it worth a -4 to make a transfer? No, I don't think so. That team looks great. Looks perfectly fine to me. Oh, I think Nunez is fine as well. He got a rest in the Europa League. Watkins and Alvarez are absolutely great. No, I don't think that needs a -4 at all. Yeah, Pinnock's fine first on bench. Areola, that's fine. Dubravka. Looks good, Otto. I don't think you need a transfer there. Christian says, it seems Cash has been dropped. Yeah, well, he's lost his place recently. He started in Europa League midweek. And yeah, at the moment, Consta's the one playing right back. So it's Pau Torres and Diego Carlos in centre back. I still think there's a good chance Cash starts against Sheffield United, which is really the one you really want him for. I think it's going to be a bit of rotation basically throughout the month. But yeah, he's definitely not nailed anymore. Which is annoying because when he hit that really good run of fixtures, I decided to sell Pedro Porro and not Cash. And Cash did absolutely nothing when he had that easy run of games. So I've come crawling back to Pedro Porro, about 0.2 mil more than when I sold him. Maybe more, might be 0.3. I think he went up last night. No, he hasn't. Oh, I haven't even told you about the transfer I made. So last Sunday, I played in FPL Juice's football tournament. and FPL Era flew over from Ireland for it. And then after the tournament, we went out in London, and we were in like this random nightclub at like 1 a.m. And I was like, Pedro Porro's going up tonight. We need to transfer him in. So we were hammered, and we went out to the smoking area, and we pulled out our phones like a couple of losers. We got the transfer locked in, and then he went up that night. So I caught the 0.1 mil in the earlier Pedro Porro transfer. If anyone saw us, what we were doing there, they probably would have thought, oh god, pair of losers. But I caught the price right, so I'm happy I did that. But when I said it to him, he was like, what? Pedro Porro's here? Because it was so loud he couldn't hear me. So I took it was basically a -4 for me, but I sold Kabore. So it depends who you're selling. I wouldn't sell someone like the question earlier, I wouldn't sell Saliba. Petkovic for Chelsea. Yeah, Sanchez, it looks like he's going to be out. I'm not sure how long. I'll have to check in the screenshot I took. I wouldn't be bringing him in though. Unless like he was out for the season, but even then I don't know if I'd go there. Chelsea's just a bit of an avoid. I think the only one, I think Tube Shots with the 10 gifted. Holy. Thank you so much for that, Tube Shots. Thanks very much for the 10 gifted. Oh, by the way, I added loads of new emojis. So use the focal thumb emoji if you remember, or if you just got gifted one. Check those out. There's loads of new emojis. I need to add more really, but there's the focal thumb one. There's Son, Haaland, Salah, Watkins, Pep. Loads of emojis. So thanks for that, Tube Shots. Thanks very much. And thanks for the reminder to mention the new emojis. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, thanks very much, FPL Addict. He says -4 for Richarlison or Tavernier. Probably not for a -4. It really depends who you're selling, but I don't think I'd take a -4 for either of those. John says I never get gifted. That's true, John. I always thought it goes to people who are the most active in chat, but because it often gets gifted to names that I recognise. Like people that are active in chat, but maybe that's not how it works. How are we doing, Liam? Welcome to the stream. So, we'll dig into the news roundup in a minute. Yeah, we'll run through all the news from today. Loads prepared for this stream as always. So if you're not subscribed, then hit subscribe. I do these streams every deadline, covering everything you need to know, the latest news, and then we talk about other bits and bobs like top transfers, kings of the game week, clean sheet odds, goal scorer odds, etc. So we jump into that. Should we do the news roundup? SpongeBob, I dodge gifts like a pro. Yeah, I don't know how it selects. Maybe it's completely random. But yeah, thanks again for that, Tube Shots. Appreciate your support. So let's go through all the news from today's presses and stuff that you need to know, stuff you might have missed. We'll do Villa first. No listed press conference due to last night's fixtures. Emery did say after the match that he's hopeful Leon Bailey and Tielemans would be fit for Gameweek 17. FYI if you've got Bailey. Digne and Douglas Luiz are suspended for this weekend's game away to Brentford. And Brentford news next. And Mbumo's going to be out for 12 weeks and he's going to miss the entirety of AFCON. He had to get surgery on his ankle. Massive shame that, because he's been having a great season. Ivan Toney suspended for 3 more league games, so his return at least is a bit timely. Unless he leaves in January. I think I saw him linked with Arsenal. Man United, Ten Hag has ruled Maguire and Martial out of the trip to Anfield. Rashford and Shaw should be available. Shaw went off at half-time in the Champions League. Martinez, Malacia, Casemiro, Mount and Eriksen all remain out for Man United. Arsenal news. Martinelli's recovered from illness and he's in contention for Gameweek 17. No one's got El Neni, so we'll move on from that. Sorry if anyone's got El Neni, or if you're watching El Neni. But yeah, he's out as well. Mitchell's been past fit by Roy Hodgson. However, Edouard Johnston and Lerma have joined the injury list. Dean Henderson has trained this week and he may be obliged to play despite not being 100%. So we could see Henderson in goal, even though not 100% fit. Chelsea news. So Robert Sanchez, Cucurella and Reece James are all ruled out of Gameweek 17. However, Gusto and Nkunku have both returned to full team training. So yeah, I think Gusto might actually be the best of the Chelsea defenders. But I'm not sure if this is the week though, because we don't know 100% if he starts. But obviously James is out for 3 months. Could be longer. Depends if he gets surgery or not. Areola returned to the matchday squad on Thursday night, last night. So he is back in contention if you've got Areola. He was on the bench. I think it was Fabianski started, but he's recovered from the wrist injury. So Areola's at least available. Anthony Gordon's going to be assessed today ahead of tomorrow's game against Fulham. Trippier suspended. He didn't really give anything away as usual. He said it is mixed. We're getting a couple of players back, but not in their best physical condition. And then you've got players that are having to keep playing that are picking up things. So I think that's in reference to Gordon. He was forced off early in the Champions League game against Milan. And then the big one. Guardiola does not expect Haaland to be fit to face Crystal Palace on Saturday. And this is where it's interesting. He also added, hopefully he can travel to Saudi. I don't think he will be ready to play this weekend. It's not a fracture, just stress. So if you've got Haaland, I think he's an easy sell this week. Easy sell. And that's what I've done. I've transferred Solanke for a -4 as well. Aki says, is Matt Turner now the number one? Yeah, I'd say he's going to get a good run of games again in the team. He came in last week, got a pretty respectable 1-1 draw. Against Wolves. Flakadimos was pretty poor when he got his chance, so I think Turner's going to get a run of games again. Ted Loven, Oscar, am I completely delusional considering captaining Sterling over Salah? He's a Liverpool fan, he knows how poor United's form is. It feels like this match is going to be far more difficult than some might think. I think Salah's the best this week, personally. But I don't hate the Sterling captaincy. He got a rest last match. He scored, what was it? Was it 19 he got against Luton and like 16 against Burnley? He's just, in general, got a good record against promoted sides, and obviously it's home to Sheffield United as well. Yeah, I don't hate it. He could be a great differential captain. I think Salah's the best. So I'm on Salah and Son Vice. And I need to decide during this stream if I'm going to take the -8 for Alvarez or not. Very, very tempted. I just think, you know, with Lerma out, with Johnston out, maybe Henderson's going to be forced to play. It could be Matthews. I just feel like City beat Palace pretty comfortably at home. And if Haaland, like, again, based on Pep's comments, where he was saying hopefully he can be involved at Saudi, I just think there's genuine potential for Alvarez to get a run of maybe 4 games, maybe more, as their main outlet. So I am considering it. And if you're on a wildcard this week, I think the front 3 picks itself, Alvarez, Solanke and Watkins. Is anyone not selling Haaland? Let's do a poll. This one's only for the Haaland owners, so don't vote unless you have him or sold him. Are you selling Haaland? Yes, no. The poll is up. I just think far too much points towards him missing this game minimum. There was the whole drama midweek with the Haaland family all selling Haaland in their FPL teams. And then Haaland's mate also sold him, like Haaland's dad, his girlfriend, his brother, they all sold Haaland. And why would they do that? They wouldn't do that for 1 game, so I feel like he could be out for at least a few games. So that's my personal view, that's my recommendation, is to sell him. In the office on my own before I meet friends for drinks at 6:30. Nobody here. Have you been on the big screen in the meeting room, lol? I'm going to be on the big screen at 6 o'clock on Sky Sports. I did a recording with them earlier. I made my debut, my Sky Sports debut. So that's at 6 o'clock if anyone's got Sky Sports to stick it on in the background. Thoughts on Raul long term? I'm not tempted. I feel like he's just hitting a little patch of form, but I'd need to see him back to his best when he should chip away with consistent returns, but nah, not for me. I think there's quite a few forwards I put ahead of him. Thanks, Tube Shots. Yeah, it was awesome to be on Sky. I didn't know it was going to be on Sky when we were recording it. I was quite nervous, and I didn't even know about the whole Sky part. They told me afterwards. Captain Solanke. We'll stick a captain poll up after this one. I just think Salah's the standout if you've got him. Like the last 7 times Liverpool have played Man United at Anfield, Liverpool have got 7 goals. Man United have got 1. Or if you go back 8 games, it's even worse, including other competitions, because Liverpool beat them 2-0 in Europa League. Going back a while now, but Liverpool just got such a good record at home in general and against Man United. I mean, looking at the projected points from FPL Review, this is how they've got it. They've got Salah top this week. They've got Alvarez second, but Salah's top 7.7 points. And then it's Alvarez 6.6. And then it's Son. Maybe I'll switch vice-captain to Alvarez if I bring him in. Solanke's in 4th. So yeah, great transfer this week, Solanke. He's got 3 nice fixtures. Luton home, Forest away, Fulham home. Nice block of 3 fixtures. Darwin's up there, Saka, Foden, Palmer, Ødegaard, Watkins. Trippier suspended, yeah. Yeah, exactly that. He's not going to play this week. So, again, that's what, if Haaland's out longer term, that's where I'll use that Haaland money. I'll do something like Maguire to Trippier in Gameweek 18. Or maybe Trent. I'm really torn between the two, Trippier and Trent. So, 74% are selling Haaland, 26% aren't. So that's actually a good poll idea, because I'm not sure whether I'll get Trippier or Trent in Gameweek 18. So let's do a poll on that. And obviously you have to factor in their price. Because Trent's like 1.1 mil more. But obviously Trent's like flying at the moment, whereas Trippier's not been, but Trippier's cheaper. So get your votes on that poll. Who's the better FPL pick? What week is Salah going away? It's after Gameweek 20. There's a really nice graphic from Rob TFPL. Let me see if I can find it. Which shows basically when AFCON starts, when players are expected back, depending on how far they progress. Where is it? Can't actually find it on his profile. Maybe he posted it somewhere else. I used it in videos, so I do have it. I think I should find it because it's actually a really useful one for everyone that's trying to understand the whole AFCON and Asia Cup situation. So I'm just opening up another window here to upload it. So we go there, go there. Is it frozen? Hello? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so for everyone that's wondering about the whole situation with AFCON and what that's looking like. So it's from Gameweek 20. So Gameweek 21, we're going to lose Salah, Son. Those are the main two. Mbumo would have been gone, but he's out injured anyway. Visser's another one. Mitoma will be gone for the Asian Cup. And it really depends on how deep their cup run goes in terms of how long they're out for. So for example, if they reach the final, which is what these bottom rows are, then we might not see them back till Gameweek 26, Gameweek 25 at the earliest. So that's from Rob TFPL, which kind of paints the picture nicely about how long players are going to be away, because it really depends on how deep they go in those two cups. And as British87 says, South Korea should go far. And certainly Egypt could do as well. But yeah, South Korea, I don't know the odds, but I imagine they'll be among the favourites, right, to go all the way. Sagar says, hey Oscar, watching on the FPL show, congrats. Thanks very much. Yeah, it was a surreal experience, but really enjoyed it. And they've already asked me if I'd be interested in doing more, so hopefully I'll be back to do more. Yeah, it was really good fun. Nice bit of exposure for the channel. It's been a good day. As I said earlier, we also hit 170,000 subscribers just now. So yeah, a good day of growth for the channel. So thanks all of you for supporting me and giving me these opportunities, because that's ultimately what it is. It's because of the channel. Kano with the super chat. He sent me his ID, 2 free transfers, but he took a -4 after Dubravka. So you got Dubravka in for Areola and Solanke in for Alvarez. Or Alvarez in for Haaland. Hang on. You took minus... The arrows are confusing me. So you've gone Areola to Dubravka. You sold Alvarez. Hang on, let me check your ID. Let me check your team. I'll do my best. It's a bit messy pulling up teams in the background. So you've got Alvarez. Are you saying you sold Alvarez? So you've gone Areola to Dubravka. You've gone Alvarez to Solanke. Haaland. Yeah, I would do Haaland to Alvarez. So if you've already done Alvarez to Solanke, I would do Haaland to Alvarez, if that's what you're saying. I'd say it's worth it, personally, in my opinion. Banging music. What's their goal and news? Nothing concrete, as per usual, from Eddie Howe. But he said he's going to be assessed today ahead of tomorrow's game against Fulham. Yeah, so it's impossible really. It's hard to say. And that's the problem. If I buy Alvarez, I'll be benching Gordon, home to Fulham. And there is a chance that Joelinton starts in left wing. Or it could be Isak left wing, but I think that's less likely because it would mean Wilson has to start again. So we don't know basically on Gordon. And that's the risk. I'd be taking another -4, so it'd be -8, and I'd be benching Gordon. Dubravka or Areola? I would say Dubravka. Let's check the clean sheet odds. And I'd just go with what the clean sheet odds say with that sort of thing. So Newcastle 34% chance, West Ham 31.5. So I would go Newcastle. I'd start Dubravka if I had the two of them. Turbocharged Gaming, thanks for the super chat. He brought in Sanchez for a hit last week. That's so unlucky. He's only got Turner, so another hit I guess. Go to Raya and block Son to Saka later. Dubravka would block Trippier later. I don't know if that's worth it if you're going to block Saka. You could just play Turner, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's worth a hit if you've got a keeper that will play. I know it's a bad fixture for Turner, but who else would you bring in? Who else is there? Like Raya, who blocks Saka, I just think that's a bit risky. I don't think I'd want to do that to myself. So I don't think I'd take the hit turbocharge basically. Especially when you actually got a keeper that plays. Like, I get it if you've got two keepers that won't play, but Turner will. Turner will play against Spurs. He could rack up save points. Tube Shots, thanks for the gifted membership. And it went to Andre. There we go. Shout out to Andre. As I said earlier, he's the guy that's built the fplfocal website with me. It's completely free, by the way. fpl.page, if anyone wants to look at it. It might not fit in very well here, but there's loads of good stuff, like bonus points. This is updated live. There's like top 10k stats, price changes. The Players League. So we've added the Haaland circle of acquaintances to the tracker, so you can see what moves they made. Like Haaland's mate sold Haaland for Alvarez before Luton. His dad sold Haaland for Isak, but did Mbumo to Salah. Astor Haaland, I forget who that is. Is that his mum? His sister? Anyway, they sold Haaland for Watkins. And we've added, I don't know if you can see it, set piece takers for all 20 teams. So you can go through this and see who takes penalties, free kicks. FPL.page. All completely free. Forever. Squirtle, thanks for the super chat. He says, I've taken a -4. Would you take another -4 for Haaland to Watkins? My only bench cover this week is Archer, so it'll be Solanke and Haaland up front. Yeah, I would do it, Squirtle. I would definitely do that. Haaland to Watkins, that's exactly what I would do in your position. Yeah, it's worth it. Haaland won't play. Oh, Astor's a male. Sorry, Astor. Don't know why I'm saying that like Astor's watching. Start Archer or Kabore? I'd start Archer. Tavernier goal involvement. That's on the widget, fpl.page. You'll see Tavernier's numbers in there. There's an expected data widget and you can filter by game weeks like the last 4 and so on. Hey Oscar, big dilemma. -4 Haaland to Solanke for a double up of Semenyo and Gueye to Porro for -4. Or -4 or Mbumo to Iwobi and again Porro, Watkins up top. I like the first one more. I think it's fine to get Solanke even though you got Semenyo. You're not going to play Semenyo most weeks, but he's alright for the next 3. I don't think there's a problem with that. But can't you afford Watkins? If you're saying you haven't got Watkins, or you're saying you've got him already. If you haven't got Watkins, then Haaland to Watkins. If you do have Watkins, then I would do the Solanke move and Gueye to Porro. That's worth a -4 in my opinion. Pat says, play Areola or Dubravka, bench 1. I'd start Dubravka. He's got the slightly better clean sheet odds this week. And bench 1 out of Lascelles, Saliba and Tsimikas. Ooh. I'd start Saliba. I think I'd start Tsimikas, and you can hedge your bets rather than doubling up with Newcastle. Like, they are without Trippier, and they're getting no rest right now. So I would start Dubravka, bench Lascelles. Thanks for that. Thoughts on Andreas? Yeah, I don't mind the Andreas pick. I don't see myself owning him, but I don't mind him at all. If anyone watched today's experts video, FPL Spaceman had his wildcard active, and Andreas was in his latest draft, so that's an interesting one. He came #1 in the world on FPL Review's massive data model last season, the season review tool. So he's a top manager. Forward differentials in Cuckoo or Jesus. I'd rather Solanke. Like, his ownership's still only 13.8%. I don't think you have to go differential for the sake of it. And Kunku, I think he probably makes a cameo off the bench. Jesus isn't bad, but I'd put Watkins, Solanke and Alvarez ahead of him. So I wouldn't go differential for the sake of it. Sylvester RS says, selling Haaland is more likely a -8, not a -4. Most will -4 to get him back in due to the AFCON and Asian Cup and all injuries, still debating. Yeah, well that's true as well. It might not be a hit though. If you can get yourself with 2 free transfers heading into Gameweek 21, then it really depends on the depth, I suppose. Because yeah, you'd have to sell Salah. But you could sell Salah before he plays against Newcastle. Or you just bench one of them for 1 week, even though they don't have a fixture because of AFCON. Sell Archer to Solanke for a -4. Thanks for the $20 super chat, Todd. That's very generous. Thank you very much. Archer to Solanke for a -4. Depends if you have to start Archer. I think that's probably worth it. I think he repays that hit over the next 3. Like, Solanke's banging form, nailed for 90 minutes, he's on penalties. We know he's going to play every game during this congested period, which is a really valuable thing to have. I think he repays the hit, and I wouldn't be surprised if Archer gets 6 points max over the next 3, whereas Solanke's ceiling is pretty high over the next 3. Bournemouth for Joe penalty, even though that's like Gamba's fallacy or whatever you call it, but they haven't had a penalty, I think, since they got promoted. I'm sure I read that. I think it's probably worth it, especially if you have to start Archer, Todd. So yeah, I would do that. There's going to be a lot of hits this week. I feel like hits are quite justifiable this week, especially when you're selling players like Haaland or other injuries in your team. Lots of people still selling Mbumo. Kano, thanks for the super chat. He sold Alvarez and he's got to bring him back in for a -4. Who starts and future transfers? Let me take a peek at your team. That's unfortunate selling Alvarez if you did it this week. So you've got Alvarez and you sold him. I don't know who you sold Alvarez for, but I'd bring him back in for Haaland, honestly. Well, it depends if you've got Watkins actually. Yeah, you probably want to prioritise Watkins and Solanke because you've got Akanji as well who won't play. So I would actually do that. I wouldn't bring Alvarez back in your case. Yeah, you have to be careful with Alvarez. He does have that blank in 18, obviously. So in your case, you've got triple City. In terms of who starts, you start Porro, you start Saliba. I think I'd start Akanji. I think I'd bench Ferguson. So you start whoever you replaced Alvarez with, and then you sell Haaland for Watkins, unless you've got him, in which case Solanke. You start those, and you bench Ward-Prowse, and then start the rest. James to Colwell. If you don't have Pedro Porro, I think he's the standout James replacement. Colwell should be fine, but there is a chance Cucurella gets a game. I think he's out this week, so you're fine for Sheffield United at home. But Colwell, not completely nailed. We've seen him in and out a bit recently. Oh, sorry, Mohit. Is everyone doing Haaland to Solanke? You've got Watkins. I think that makes sense. If you've already got Watkins, then Haaland to Solanke is the next best one. Yeah. That's what I would do. Well, that's what I've done. I already had Watkins, so I brought in Solanke. You sent me the wrong ID. Bloody hell. Alright, let me check again. Okay, got your new one. So same thing. So you've got Watkins. You're saying you sold Alvarez. I don't know who you sold him for. If you sold him for Solanke, then I would just do Haaland to Alvarez. You start Saliba, you start Colwell. I'll start Simicast and I'll start Areola, basically. So yeah, the bench kind of picks itself there. And I'll do Haaland to Solanke. Unless you've got Solanke, in which case Alvarez. YSR says, what's your logic with Salah captain and not Son? He's top of the game week 16. Is it 16 or 17? I forgot what game week we're in. He's top of the projections this week, 7.7. He's top of the goal scorer odds as well. And Liverpool just have such a good record against Man United at Anfield. In the last 7 games, they've scored 20 goals, and United have just scored 1. And obviously, Klopp completely rested the team midweek. So that's also, I suppose, something that helps out Liverpool and not Man United, who of course played as strong as they could in the Champions League against Bayern. Let's do an early captain poll and see if anyone agrees with that, or if anyone's on Son or Alvarez or someone like that. Oh, yeah, forgot about that poll. Who's the better FPL pick? 64% say Trent, 36% say Trippier. That's surprising. I thought it'd be closer, given the difference in price. So, who's your captain? Son, Salah. Who are the other options? Alvarez? Saka? Who would be the next best? Surely not Solanke. I think I'm just going to go other. I feel like those are the main two, right? Alright, the poll is up. Yeah, maybe Sterling. There's lots of differentials if you look beyond Son and Salah. Like Sterling, I think is fine. Saka's okay. Alvarez is good. As we said earlier, like if you look at the adjusted market odds with Haaland out, they've actually got Salah and Alvarez even in terms of goal scorer odds. I mean, a single percent actually. 59% chance of Salah scoring 1, 58% for Alvarez. They've both got a 22% chance of scoring 2 or more. So they're dead even basically after factoring in Haaland's absence, because the goals have to come from somewhere. So as a consequence, Alvarez's stock goes way up. And that's why I'm honestly considering a -8 for Alvarez this week. I just think his ceiling's so high this week with no Haaland. And, you know, based on Pep's comments saying we hope he's going to make Saudi, I think there's a chance that Haaland's injury is more serious than Pep's letting on. So, yeah, I'm genuinely considering it. Is Alvarez on pens, says animation time? I mean, that's a good question. He probably is. He probably is. Is there anyone else that I'm not thinking of? It probably is Alvarez, isn't it? With Haaland out. He'd be on pens as well. Are you going to do it though? I think I am. I'm 75% doing it. I decided just before I was going live that I'm doing it. And I don't think I should go back on what I decided before I was under the pressure of being live to thousands. I tried to just make my mind up before a stream rather than during, because that can backfire. So yeah, for anyone that missed the Haaland news, so lots of people asking about Haaland. Guardiola doesn't expect him to be fit to face Palace tomorrow, and he said hopefully he can travel to Saudi. I don't think he'll be ready to play this weekend. It's not a fracture, just stress. So Haaland is an absolute sell. What I can tell you guys as well, I didn't want to tweet this, but I've been told Haaland's not in the squad. And I'm 99% confident in it, but not enough to actually have tweeted it. But that's what I've been told, he's not in the squad. And we might actually get a leak from someone reliable during the stream. But I've been told he's not even in the squad. Didn't FPL Tony say Alvarez was out? No, that was midweek in the Champions League. He was saying he doesn't start. He was just saying he doesn't start in their Champions League game. He did say yesterday as well, he's very likely to get a definitive update on Haaland before the deadline. Watch this space. But that's what I've been told, that he's not in the squad. But yeah, I didn't want to tweet that. I thought I'd just leave it up to FPL Tony or someone who can say it with absolute confidence. But that's what I've been told. Is Son a must, even before the Asian Cup? Not a must, but he's got 4 really nice fixtures before he goes. Forest, Everton, Brighton and then Bournemouth. Kano says, my luck with transfers. He went Areola to Dubravka, Alvarez to Solanke, and then Haaland to Alvarez. 7.6 mil in the bank now. So you've sold Haaland. Haaland to Alvarez. I think that's fine. You don't need to make another move there, Kano. Yeah, that's fine. You've made the right moves there. Team looks good. I mean, we've basically got the same team. Yeah, the team looks good. Those moves are fine. It's unfortunate that you've sold Alvarez and then had to get him back, but I think that's perfectly fine. So, captain poll results. 75% say Salah captain, 17% on Son, and 8% other. Interesting. Right, guesses in the chat. Who's the king of Game Week 17 going to be? It was Son last Game Week, who scored 17 points in Game Week 16. Get your guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the king of Game Week 17? Quite a few of you got it last Game Week, so well played if you guessed Son. Get your guesses in. Who's going to be the top scorer this weekend? Or maybe tonight. Maybe it could be Son again. Trent, Solanke, Scottish City fan says Salah hat-trick. Palmer, Salah, Solanke, Sterling. Adrian says Alvarez with a bunch of green arrows. Kudu, Saka, Sterling. God, chat's moving mad now. Sterling, Trent, Trafford, Sterling, McGinn. Fair play if it's McGinn. He's got himself in his FPL team, McGinn. He plays FPL. And he always owns himself, set and forget. Saka, Sterling. Tarkowski. Trent. Senesi. Imagine if Senesi scores for 3 games in a row. I don't know if any defenders have done that before. It probably has happened. Got to be Sterling, says Lars. Alvarez 3 assists. Oh, I just might get Alvarez, you know, even though it's a -8. It's very tempting. It's very aggressive. I haven't taken a hit all season, and I'm suddenly looking at a -8. I feel like it gets me back on the front foot. But yeah, in hindsight, the Dubravka transfer maybe was a bad one, because I could have rolled, but I think that week I really didn't play, so I did gain some points for it, to be fair. Doucouré, you know what, Doucouré's flying at the moment. Not a bad shout. Has the stream frozen? Are we still live? Yeah. Okay, good. It froze on my screen. John says Gordon to Son for a -4. You know what? I don't hate that. I think that's. I don't hate that at all, John. For a -4, it's close. It really just does Gordon play against Fulham. If he does, then it's not worth it. But I really think it's 50-50 if he even starts or not, or if he's on the bench. I don't hate that. I mean, Son's ceiling is so high. Sahil says no free transfers, but wildcard 1 left. Haaland to Solanke -4, or activate the wildcard. He's got Taylor, Gordon, Simicast, Kabore, and Mubama in the squad. Worth wildcarding. Yeah, in your position, I'd activate the wildcard 100%. Oh, what's this warning? Your stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Is the stream quality alright for you guys? Maybe I should up the bitrate. I've never seen that warning before. The stream look okay for you guys? Look, it looks alright for me, to be fair. It's 1080p, right? Yeah, I would wildcard Sahil, and I would recommend watching the experts video today if you've not seen it, because FPL Spaceman, really good FPL manager, activated his, and he shared his team with us. It looks good. Okay. Excellent. Oh, I did virtual. Yeah, true. Should have done that. I've added it everywhere else, but yeah, I need a little widget on the stream showing the transfers I made. Is starting Son better than Gordon? Yeah, you do not bench Son in any week. 100% don't bench Son, regardless of fixture. Phil says, hi mate, love the videos. I'm having problems this week. 2 free transfers, 0.5 million in the bank. Thinking Haaland to Solanke and Gueye to Porro. Alright, let's pull up your team. So that's your team. So I would do Haaland to Solanke. Don't know if you need to use the second transfer. Haaland to Solanke. I'll probably do Haaland to Solanke and Gueye to Pedro Porro. And then bench Lascelles. just to hedge your bets a bit on Newcastle with the Bradford in goal. That's what I would do. The rest of the team looks great. Haaland to Solanke, Gueye to Pedro Porro. And then you have the option to get like Trent or Trippier the following game week. Anselm, thanks for the $10 super chat. -8 to get Salah, 2 routes. Either dump Tsimikas to Porro and then Haaland to Solanke, Garnacho to Salah, or Haaland to Watkins, Darwin to Solanke, Garnacho to Salah. Oh, they both sound like good routes. And I agree, I would do the same. Tsimikas to Porro. So it's basically Tsimikas to Porro or Darwin to Solanke. I think Tsimikas is okay to play this week, so I'd go option 2. Haaland to Watkins, Darwin to Solanke, and Garnacho to Salah. Yeah, that's what I'd do, Anselm. I like those moves. I think option 2 just edges it, and then you've got the option to get Porro or someone else that you might not have, like Trippier or Trent, the following game week. Option 2 there, Anselm. Thanks for that. Marcus says Haaland and cash to Trent and Watkins, -4. Yeah, I like that. I think that makes a lot of sense. Watkins is basically my favourite replacement for Haaland. If you've got Watkins, then Solanke. If you've got Watkins and Solanke, then Alvarez. But just make sure you're okay for game week 18. Yeah, good moves. I would do the same. I'm looking to get Trent in game week 18. So yeah, thanks all of you for tuning into the stream. We've got about 2,000 tuned in. So if you are enjoying the stream so far, hit like on it to support the channel and subscribe if you're not already. I do these streams every deadline and I make FPL videos during the week. Next week's going to be crazy actually because I think it's a Thursday deadline. The gaps between deadlines are shrinking. So we've got a 4-day gap. 5-day gap from game week 17 to 18. And then a 4-day gap to 19. Then a 3-day gap, then it's game week 20. So yeah, it's getting crazy. Midtown, thanks for becoming an fplfocal member. Yeah, thanks for your support. Spam the focal thumb emojis in the chat. I think that should be the new thing we do when someone becomes a member. Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for becoming a member. If anyone else is interested, it's the join button below the stream. You get early access to my videos. You get access to the members channel on Discord. A badge by your name. And I also post stuff like the experts data early in the members channel. So it's actually really helpful for your FPL team as well. Besides supporting the channel. Do you like the new emoji? Focal thumb. Is Raul Jimenez a good pick over Solanke? I'd rather Solanke. Much rather Solanke. I mean, look at his next 3. Luton, Forest, and then Fulham. I'd rather Solanke. Leon, thanks for becoming a member as well. Thanks very much to Leon and Midterm for both becoming members. Thanks very much. Appreciate the support. Lascelles or Semenyo? I think I'd give Semenyo a start. Obviously, he's not playing like the 90 at the moment, but he's playing well. I think I'd give the attacker the start there. He's home to Luton. What's not to love? What's the Haaland news? If anyone missed it, this is the Haaland news. In my eyes, he's an absolute sell this week if you've got him, which is crazy. I never thought we'd see the day, but Pep doesn't expect Haaland to be fit for the Palace game tomorrow. And he also added, hopefully he can travel to Saudi. I don't think he'll be ready to play this weekend. It's not a fracture, just stress. So, in my view, Haaland is an absolute sell. And I think Pep's not letting on the severity of the injury based on the comments, if you read between the lines. So that's why I'm really considering Alvarez, because I think we're going to get more than just one game week out of Alvarez. So I think I'm going to do that during the stream from -8 to sell Archer. Thanks very much, Dennis, as well, for becoming a member. Thanks, Dennis. Welcome. Start Palmer or Gordon? Palmer. No conclusive news on Gordon. Douglas Luiz replacements under 5.5. I think Palmer is 5.5, so I'd go for him. I don't know below that if there's any. I can't think of any below 5.5. I mean, you could go for someone like Andreas or like Willian. I'm not sure how much they are. But I would say Palmer is head and shoulders above the others in that price range. So let's have a look at the scout selection for Gameweek 17. This is who they've gone for this week. Let us know in chat, how many players have you got from the scout selection this week? FPL Fella says Souček, but he is a West Ham fan, so that's a bit of a West Ham bias creeping in there, I think, Dan. Joseph, thanks for becoming a member as well. Thanks very much, Joseph. Welcome to the channel. So they've got Dubravka in goal. They've got Trent, Porro and Senesi in defence. Salah captain. Son, Saka, Bowen, Foden, Isak and Solanke up top. Only 3 for Espen. Evans got 6. Dominic's got 6. So's BTPP. Mr. F's got 7. So I've got 1, 2. So I've got Dubravka, Porro, Salah, Son, Saka and Solanke. How many is that? 6. Yeah, 6 for me this week. That seems pretty good this week. Oh, Marcus, thanks for the gifted membership. Thanks very much for that, Marcus. That went to those who can't play sports. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support, Marcus. And Joseph, Dennis, and Leon. I almost missed Leon as well. Sorry, Leon, if you're still here. Thanks for becoming a member as well, Leon. Thanks for that. Thomas has got 8 from the scout selection. Looking good this week. That defence is... Oh, your defence is shambles. I thought you were saying that defence is shambles. I think you're not alone. A lot of people have suddenly got flagged players like Trippier, Taylor, James. Yeah, it feels like a lot of teams are getting ripped up right now. The template is getting ripped up before our eyes. Guesses in the chat. Can you guess who the most transferred in player is this week? The most transferred in player. I reckon most transferred out you'll be able to guess, but most transferred in, who is it this week? Yeah, we're seeing the template absolutely ripped up because people are selling Haaland. And then on top of that, we've got after 4 game weeks from now, we've got Salah and Son going to AFCON and the Asia Cup. Solanke, everyone's saying Solanke pretty much. Pedro Porro, Palmer, Watkins. And let's see who it is. I actually don't know who it is. Oh, you're right, it's Solanke. 826,000 transfers in. He's had a double rise this week. Is he going to triple rise? Surely not. Does FPL statistics not work for anyone else? I have to use it on my phone at the moment. It's kind of annoying. I don't know why. I've tried everything. Oh, Solanke might triple rise. He's at 125%. Alvarez is 149%. Pedro Porro is rising. If I get Alvarez, I think I'll have 4 players rising tonight. Maybe 5 with Son. Alvarez, Porro, Solanke, Watkins, Neto are definitely going up. Son might be. Interesting. So Son is second, and then it's Pedro Porro, Watkins, Senesi, Trent, Salah, Alvarez, Gordon. Oh, a lot for Gordon. He might not even start, you know. Powell, Palmer. Alright, let's have a look at who the most sold is. Well, we know who it is. 1.2 million have sold Haaland. 787,000 have sold Trippier. Are you guys selling Trippier as well, or are you holding him? I feel like if he can, he's a hold. Surely. He gets a rest, and then he's back for a couple of nice games. And Bumo, that's fine. Yeah, Douglas Luiz, Bruno, Darwin, Anderson, Gordon, Mitoma. Yeah, massive, massive sales for Haaland. What's Haaland's ownership now? Oh, you're holding Trippier. Yeah, fair enough. I think it makes sense. Ben, thanks for the super chat. He says, what should I do with my team? You're thinking Haaland to Solanke and Archer Watkins -4. Yeah, I like those moves a lot, but let's have a quick peek at your team. So this is Ben's team. So Watkins in for Haaland and then Archer to Solanke. Oh, that makes perfect sense to me, yeah. You start Saliba, Tsimikas and Cher. The midfield you start. Yeah, makes sense. I would do the exact same thing, Ben. Bang on. It's worth a -4. This is a week where hits are actually worth it. Luke says, not seen many do this, but hear me out. Triple captain Salah. Oh, we were talking about this earlier. I mean, this is a crazy... Let me show you this graphic. This is Liverpool's projected goals this season from all the fixtures that they've played. And this fixture home to Man United is the third highest projected goals Liverpool have had all season. 2.8. It's crazy. They've been projected slightly more goals than when they were home to Luton, away to Luton, home to Fulham, home to Forest. So the book is massively backing Liverpool to win this one big. But I would never use triple captain in a single game week. Not for me. But yeah, that's grim reading if you're a United fan. But yeah, I would use my triple captain in a double game week always. Always. I mean, Salah could have a double game week later in the season. Why wouldn't you just use it then? Who knows who he'll have? He could have a nice double game week. Like, let's say it's, I don't know, game week 34. He's got Fulham away there. Like, the other fixture could be something great, like Luton home or something. I can't actually remember how the blanks fall this season. It might be 26 as a blank if Liverpool reach the League Cup final, something like that. So, you know, there could be a nice double for Salah later in the season. John says, Oscar, no green screen in today's fantasy video, and we saw your messy room. You know what? That was after I cleaned it as well. It wasn't that bad, was it? But yeah, you saw my backdrop. Another 7-0. Surely not. Yeah, Odegaard's not a bad shout, you know. I just think there's... Yeah, he's not bad. I think there's a lot of other players I'd rather have, though. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't hate it, but I think Saka's enough. Areola or Leno. If you've got any keeper dilemmas this week, or maybe defenders, then the clean sheet odds are really good for that. I genuinely would just pick whoever's got the better clean sheet odds this week. So Areola 31.5% chance, Leno 17%. So you start Areola. Yeah, I didn't think that was that messy. I reckon John's super clean. I reckon he's that kind of guy. So yeah, if you've got any dilemmas with your keepers and that, the goal scorer odds are always helpful, which is what's on screen now. Right, keep your questions coming. We've got bang on 1 hour till the deadline, or just under now. If you've enjoyed this stream so far, hit like on it and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can get involved in chat as well. Good to have so many tuned in on a Friday deadline as well. So it's good to have a nice fixture tonight. Darwin to Alvarez -8. I wouldn't do that for a -8. Paul Lee, is Haaland confirmed out? I'd say all but confirmed. Like Pep chucked in like one vague comment about we'll see how he feels or something, but I think he's definitely out. I mean, I've been told that he's not in the squad, and I'm sure we'll get a reliable leak as we approach the deadline. And whatever we get, I'll let you guys know straight away. But this is what Pep said. He's not expecting him to be fit to face Palace on Saturday, and he said hopefully he can travel to Saudi. So that says to me like he might not even travel to Saudi. So there's no way he makes the Palace game in my eyes. So if you've got Haaland, sell him. Like, it's a massive opportunity against all those managers out there that are going to keep him. Wachter says points projections. The points projections are right there. We have a super chat from the FPL Juice show as well. Thanks for that. He says we're just glossing over the semi-finalists from the weekend. You know what? We were absolutely robbed as well. I was talking about your tournament earlier, actually. I don't know if you're still watching FPL Juice. Me and Niall went out in London afterwards, and we ended up in a random light club, and it was about 1 in the morning. And I was like, Niall, we've got to bring in Pedro Porro. He's rising tonight. And he was like, what? Pedro Porro's here? And I was like, no, he's rising tonight. So then me and him like waddled out to the smoking area where we could get signal, and we transferred in Pedro Porro at about 1 in the morning. And he rose, to be fair, so that was a pretty good drunk decision. I'm glad I did that. But yeah, I really enjoyed that tournament, and I'll definitely be at the next one, whenever that is. Lupo says, play Turner or transfer out Sanchez from -4. Yeah, someone had the same question earlier, Lupo, and I just don't think it's worth a hit when you've got an actual playing keeper. Like, Turner could rack up the save points. I know he's not likely to keep a clean sheet. But I wouldn't take a -4 for a keeper when you've got one that plays. I know Turner's odds are low, but who do you bring in realistically right now that's worth it? I wouldn't bring in Petrovic or whatever the backup's called. You wouldn't really want to bring in Raya because he's got Liverpool after. You could just bring him in from game week 19, is it, when he's got West Ham and then Fulham and then Palace. Oblivious says start 2 of the 4: Palmer, Gordon, Semenyo and Tsimikas. I'd start Palmer. I think you have to start Gordon. And we've had a tweet from FPL Tony. He says early transfers gang won't be punished this time, so that all but confirms Haaland's out. I'll pull that tweet up in a second. I'd start Palmer and I think I'd start Gordon. I think that's what I'd do. I feel like you have to start Gordon if you're keeping him. At least I probably wouldn't put him ahead of Semenyo. I wouldn't put Semenyo or Tsimikas ahead of him. So I'd start Palmer and Gordon. Eric Yang says Saliba, Trent, Porro, Konsa, Colwell. Which 3 should I start? So you have to start Trent and Porro. So it's between Saliba, Konsa and Colwell. I think I'd start Colwell. Home to Sheffield United. I think he's got very good clean sheet odds this week. Yeah, Chelsea 51.5% chance. So I'd start those 3. Trent, Porro and Colwell. So let's pull up that tweet from FPL Tony, which all but confirms no Haaland this week. He says early transfers gang won't be punished this time. So that's obviously in reference to all of those, myself included, that sold Haaland during the week. I did that to catch Solanke's price rise because I was pretty confident Haaland doesn't play this weekend based on everything we knew at the time. So that's consider that confirmation, no Haaland. So if you've got him, get rid. Because he's got the blank in 18. We don't know if he's back in 19, he could be. Zaman says, I'm a better manager than Oscar. Fair play. Congrats to Zaman. Zaman, why don't you start up a YouTube channel? You could overtake me in subscribers. I'd actually encourage anyone to do that, to start a YouTube channel if you're thinking about it. Because I thought about it years before I did it, and I just thought, oh, there's no point, I'm way too late. And I only did it when we were in lockdown and I had nothing to do. And then here we are, like never in a million years expected people to be interested in streams and videos I had to make. So if anyone's thinking about it, just jump in and do it. I started mid-season when I first started. Tom O'Toole, thanks for the super chat. He says he's done Erling to Isak for a -4, Maguire to Trent for a -8. It depends if you have to start Maguire. I don't know who you have to start instead, Tom. That's the question. If you have to start Maguire, then definitely do that. Definitely. Otherwise, it depends who you're starting. Because you could delay it a week. Zayab says bench 1 out of Saka, Palmer and Gordon. Gordon. Yeah, I'd bench Gordon out of those 3. Livramento and Akanji start. Livramento definitely does, because Trippier is suspended. Akanji, probably a bit of a coin toss. But should do. John says, who's the #1 FPL creator in terms of subscribers? Oh, it's Andy, isn't it? Let's Talk FPL. He started like 6 years before me. And then after that, I think it's FPL Tips. He's got about 200,000. And then it's Dan. And then I think it's me. So, working my way towards podium. You know what? If you want to help me hit podium, then hit subscribe. How about that? Something I haven't even mentioned, but I'm thinking about doing, is I'll get the Focal logo tattooed at 200,000. I think that would be a good incentive, and that'd be quite funny. So yeah, FPL Tony confirms that Haaland's out. So yeah, going back to the point earlier, and this hit I might take, I'm looking at going Archer to Alvarez, because I just think, with Haaland's absence factored into the market odds, look at how high he is on the projected goals this week. He's basically dead even with Salah on the projected goals. Tom already got the Focal tattoo. Fair play. You know what? I've got the Focal shirt on as well. I need to get round to publishing it, because you can have it like in your YouTube channel. And loads of people said on the last stream they'd be interested in buying. So I need to get round to that. But yeah, Alvarez should be on penalties, and look at the projected goals. I mean, he's got the same odds as Salah to score 2 or more goals this week. Holy, Dan Devitt. Dan Davitt. Thanks for the 10 gifted memberships. Thanks so much for the support. If you got one of those, make sure you thank him for that. And spam the Focal thumb emojis in the chat as well. We've got to make that a new thing. Seb got one, Yash got one, Fraser got one, BTPP got one, River Heights, Spook, Raphael, Min and Brandon, and Joachim all got one. Thanks so much for that, Dan. Really appreciate the support. Welcome to the new members. Matty says, with Barber to Alvarez for a hit, I've got Watkins and Solanke. Yeah, I think that's worth it. I think it's worth a hit. I really think Alvarez's upside is that high that I'm looking at a -8. And I think a lot of people are going to end up getting him after the blank. But I want to get him now. Like, he's playing against Palace who don't have Lerma. They don't have Johnston. So I'm 75% sure I'm going to do it during this stream. So it'd be Archer to Alvarez, but I'd have to bench Gordon. So I'd be hoping for a Gordon benching, which I know a lot of you aren't. FCH Sean, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships as well. This has been a crazy stream for memberships. Welcome to all the new members. Thanks again to Dan Davitt and also FCH Sean for the gifted memberships. Absolute legends, both of you. Ian got one. Joe got one. Joy Deep. SY. Javisol. Welcome all of you. Bench Cash or Gordon? I'd bench Cash. Will Haaland play? No, Haaland's out. We've just had it leaked by FPL Tony. All but confirmed. No Haaland. He's a very, very reliable Man City in the know. He's never been wrong. And he tweeted, those that made early transfers are not in trouble. Something like that he wrote. So Haaland's out. No Haaland tomorrow. So that's a big opportunity. Those of you that are watching this right now and your mini league rivals and other people around you that don't know about this. Rightly or wrongly, that's a big edge. I mean, what's his transfers out now? So it was 1.2 million. Should we see how much it's gone up over the last, half an hour? This is from ffstuff.co.uk, by the way. So it was 1.2 million. Oh. Is it not live? Oh, I must have refreshed it. What an absolute fail. It must have been like 1 million earlier. Or no one sold him. Yeah, 1.2 million sales for Haaland right now. So I'd make sure if you're going to sell him, I'd do it soon. Because we've been here before where there's been a last minute Haaland leak and the website crashed. John says, poll idea, how many hits have you taken? That's a good one. Let's do that, John. How many hits are you on this week? None. -4. The poll is just this week, not the season. -12 or more. Someone replied to one of my tweets earlier and they've said they've just taken a -16. Alright, get your votes in on that poll. How many hits are you on this week? Oh, I'm so jealous of the wildcarders. BTPP's on the wildcard. I'm staring down the barrel of a -8 here. I just think Alvarez has got that much upside that I think I'm going to do it and hope Gordon doesn't start. It's really hard to say though because Gordon was forced off in the Champions League against AC Milan. So it's just, does he start or does Joelinton start left wing and maybe Longstaff comes into midfield? Or does Isak start left wing and Wilson through the middle? Or does Gordon just get played regardless? They've also got the League Cup next midweek against Chelsea. Yeah, thanks Chris, we saw that. Yeah, so Haaland is out, so if you've got him, then time to sell. What wildcards have you done so far? You only get one. I used mine in Gameweek 7. It's actually gone surprisingly well. I was 3.5 million when I activated it in Gameweek 7. But yeah, this week, I don't know if I'll get a green on or not if I take a -8. But I think it's a couple of hits that over the next 3 or 4 should be repaid. I'm not expecting it to be repaid in 1 week. But that would be nice. Imagine if Solanke and Alvarez both score and Gordon doesn't start. I'm asking for a lot there though. Newcastle are a tired team. Gordon's knackered. Exactly that, Neville. He's been overplayed recently. And obviously it's a consequence of all the injuries they've got at the moment. There's not much Hal can do about it. I mean, some will argue he could have done a bit more. So, if anyone's just joining late and wondering about the Man City news, then I'll just pull up this tweet again from FPL Tony, who's a very reliable Man City in the know. As I said earlier, I was told he's not in the squad, and now we basically know that's the case. unless he's saying he's benched, but I think he's not even in the squad. So that is the tweet from FPL Tony. He says, early transfers gang won't be punished this time. So no Haaland against Palace, safe to say. So yeah, this is your opportunity. We don't get many this season like this. You can take on the Haaland owners, the Haaland holders. I mean, it makes sense for some teams to hold on to him rather than sell. It's team dependent, but in a lot of teams it makes sense to drop him. If you don't have Watkins, if you don't have Solanke, those are the two standouts. I would prioritise them in that order. So, keep your questions coming. I'll do my best to pick out as many as possible. The best wildcard team. I would recommend watching the experts video from today. FPL Spaceman had his wildcard active. It was basically a front three of Solanke, Watkins and Alvarez. He had Salah, Son, Saka. I think he had Palmer and then Andreas on the bench, but I think he might have changed that to Douglas Luiz. Porro, Gabriel and Trent was his defence, and I think he had Dubravka in goal or Ariola in goal and Ederson. Luigi says site crashed. Yeah, if anyone's thinking about selling Haaland, I would do it sooner than later. We've got 45 minutes till the deadline. Oh, actually, yeah, I should make my move as well. I think I'm going to do it. I might do a poll on this. I might have to get a second opinion. So I've got 8.1 million in the bank, and I'm looking at going Archer to Alvarez and benching Gordon. So I'll be doing that. The poll results. So how many hits he won this week? 37% are on none. 44% are on -4. So more people are on hits this week than aren't. 14% are on a -8 and 5% are on a -12 or more. So that leads us to the next poll. Archer to Alvarez. Do it or don't do it. This man says, I'm doing it if you are, Osk. Get your votes on the poll if you think I should do it. I haven't taken a single hit this season to this point, but yeah, if I do it, it's for a -8, and it means benching Gordon. So it really depends on Gordon, whether he starts or not, because that's a big edge as well. Like, a lot of people have got Gordon. I feel like everyone kind of like flocked to Gordon and Palmer after Mbeumo got injured. So that's like a massive opportunity if Gordon doesn't start. And obviously Alvarez is playing against Palace at home, who don't have Johnston, they don't have Lerma. So there's pros and cons to it. John says, Oscar, what Sky channel are you on at 6 PM? It should be on Sky Sports, the main Sky Sports channel. So if anyone's got Sky Sports, flick that on in the background. I'm on at 6 o'clock. Or I think it's like 5 or so minutes into the show. Yeah, they were asking about my team of transfers this week. Yeah, and Kunku's back. So we'll do another news roundup for anyone that's joined the stream late. All the bits and bobs from today's presses that you might have missed and stuff you need to know. But that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking Archer to Alvarez. Oh, it's very tempting. So I think Pep's not letting on the severity of Haaland's injury. Because he said earlier, we hope he can make it in Saudi. So I feel like we could get a run of games out of Alvarez as their main outlet. That's where I'm at with it. Let me just catch up on Super Chats. Brian Morrissey, how are we doing? Thanks for the Super Chat. It says, hi Oscar, start Gordon or Diaby? Congrats on Sky. Oh, that's a close one. I think I'd start Diaby, just because Bailey, I think he missed the midweek game, didn't he? So I feel like Diaby starts. It's close though. Oh, I think I'd start Diaby, Brian. I'm just worried that Gordon's benched and then he comes on for half an hour. Who could do more damage though? Gordon in half an hour or Diaby if he gets like 60 odd minutes? I think probably Diaby, Brian. I think I'd start Diaby. Thanks for that. And Anchit says, Cole or any other Chelsea defender, great stream. Thanks, Nanchit. I think Gusto's the best of the bunch, but the problem is that we don't know 100% that he's going to start. He's just back from injury. James is out for 3 months, so then Gusto, I think, is the best pick. The centre-backs are just too risky. Thiago Silva, Badiashile, Disasi could all rotate. Colwell and Cucurella could rotate. So it would have to be Gusto. But I wouldn't do the move this week, basically. If you're desperate for a Chelsea defender, then Colwell this week, because he'll start left-back. Anurag says, from -4, Haaland and Gordon to Watkins in the mid, or Haaland and Kilman to Watkins and Porro. Or just Haaland out and Gordon and Kilman cash on the bench. Who do Wolves have? I forget what fixture they got. They're playing away to West Ham. Yeah, I think it's probably worth the -4. I think Porro is looking like a season keeper. Like, he's top for expected goal involvement among all defenders since Maddison's injury, because he's taken set pieces. He's got a mega haul coming in him at some point. I think it's probably worth it, yeah. I think I'd do that. Watkins and Porro. I wouldn't do Watkins in a mid unless you don't have Salah or Son, in which case then I'd do that. Otherwise, Watkins and Porro. What do you guys think? What are the poll results? 60% say do it, 40% say don't do it. It's pretty decisive, isn't it? FPL team not working. How am I supposed to plan for 18? What, the website's down? It's alright for me. I'm still on it. Yeah, it's alright for me at the moment. Jago says, don't do it, Oscar. Virtual says, how are you doing in the cup? I'm through, but I'm playing against a team that got 72 points last week, and they haven't made a transfer all season. So this is the thing, it's a -8, so it's another -4 points. I think I'm going to do it. It's a bit aggressive. You think Alvarez gets 5 points max? But the markets have adjusted to Haaland's injury, and they've sent him all the way up, as I said earlier. Look, he's second here. He's basically joint with Salah for goal scorer odds this week. He's got the same odds as Salah to score 2 or more goals. He should be on penalties with Haaland out. And I think we get a run of games out of Alvarez. I think based on Pep's comments, Haaland could be out for longer than just this game week. Nice one, John. Thanks for that. Yeah, if anyone missed it, I made my debut on Sky Sports earlier and the FPL show. That was a great experience. So yeah, that was very surreal, but very good. I was quite nervous, but yeah, it went well, I thought, and they immediately said, well done. Are you interested in coming back on? So, very exciting. I'm going to come back to that decision. I think I'm going to do it, but I'm going to give it another 10 minutes. Tiago says, do it, Oscar, be brave. It's definitely brave, like a -8. Thanks for the super chat. FPL Mikkel, he says, with the option to spread Haaland cash this week and clean up the back line and get Saka, would it be better to wildcard this week rather than 20? Keen on Trent. Yeah, if I had my wildcard and I had Salah, and I had Haaland, I'd pull the trigger now. Do it now, Mikkel. There's no need to wait around, especially if you've got Haaland. The appeal of holding it has completely diminished because we thought we'd get a double game week 20, which won't happen now. It's not been announced. And then we had the Mbumo injury. So again, like that's one less reason to wait. A lot of people were going to like sell him into the blank and then buy him back on the wild card, but he's out. Haaland's out. No Haaland this game week. I would wild card right now if I had it. I think it's the best window now, from now until when you lose it. FPL1, thanks for the super chat as well. He says, hi Oscar, Solanke or Watkins in for Haaland and Porro. Hang on, Solanke or Watkins in for Haaland. So Watkins, I would say, over Solanke. And Porro in for Lamptey. Thoughts? I could do it for a -8 to get both Watkins and Solanke. Keep up the great work. I would do Watkins and I would do Porro. I wouldn't do Solanke unless you're forced to start someone that you really don't think is going to have a good week. I wouldn't do the -8 for Solanke unless you've got someone that you have to start that you really don't think is going to do anything. You know, like Maguire or like a Palace defender. He says, don't do it. If Palmer gets you a yellow, you have 3 blanks next game week. True. I don't think that's the end of the world, though, for my team. right? It's not great because I'd have to start Saliba and Tsimikas, but I don't think it's that bad. Because I could sell Maguire for Trent, so I've got a back four. I've got 4 midfielders and a 2, so 4-4-2. Even if Palmer gets booked. That's after I make next week's transfer. But I could still afford to go Maguire to Trent. Or Maguire to Trippier. Even if I get Alvarez for Archer now. Yeah, it's very tempting. I think I'm going to do it. Chloe asks free hit. I would save your free hit if you've got it. There's going to be much better weeks to use it. The free hit really should only be used in blanks or doubles, in my opinion. It changes season to season, like when's the best week to use it. Like sometimes if it's a blank game week and you've got all the key players in your team blanking, then you can free hit just to get a team out and then you get your old team back. But sometimes it can be good in doubles because you could free hit a full 11 of players with 2 fixtures. So that's also quite a high upside. And it really depends season to season which one can give you more points. Sahil says, any goalkeeper pair combinations, recommendations on the wildcard? So I think Dubravka and Areola is still good. Or you could go Dubravka and Edison, because I think Man City are going to get a double around game week 24 or 25. So I think Edison's fine to rotate with Dubravka, because you get Luton away in the blank. But yeah, if not, I would say Dubravka Areola is still great. Toby says, can I wildcard right now? What do you feel? Yeah, as I say, if I had a wildcard, I'd use it right now. Especially if you've got Haaland. I think it's a massive opportunity now. Alex says a -8 usually doesn't pay off on average. Well, that's true as well. I'd have to measure it over the next 4 game weeks. It's unlikely to pay off this week. Unless Solanke and Alvarez both score. And if Gordon doesn't do anything. But yeah, that's 3 things I'm asking for there. Brad says, is Haaland 100% out? He is, yeah. If anyone's late to the stream, FPL Tony's completely reliable for Man City. And he said, early transfers, gang, won't be punished this time. So, no Haaland. So, if you've got him, sell him. And as I said earlier in the stream, I was told he's not in the squad. So, no Haaland. And I think based on Pep's comments, it could be a longer term injury than just this week. So, again, that really adds to Alvarez's appeal for me. Sorry, I'm banging on about Alvarez so much, but I just think like I've got a gut feeling about him. Mark says I've done it. What did you do, Mark? Did you bring in Alvarez? What about triple captain? Save your triple captain. Use it in a double game week. Mikhail with the 21 months. You're closing in on the 24 mark emoji. You got the golden focal badge, but there's another one at 24 months. Thanks very much for the long support. He says, on the fly wildcard draft. Alright, let's do it. On the fly wildcard draft. If I was wildcarding, it would look like this. So, I think I'd probably go the Areola Dubravka rotation. I'd have Alexander-Arnold. I'd get rid of Tsimikas. I'd have that front 3. I'd get rid of Pinnock. I'd have Pau Torres, because he's perfect in gaming A team. That leaves me with 6 mil in the bank. Who would I have as the last one? It would be, I think it'd be like this, but I'm not sure who that defender would be. It kind of mostly picks itself. I'm not sure what other defender I'd have there though. Yeah, I think Gusto, you know. I was talking about him earlier, because James is out for 3 months. He might not play this week, but you don't need him this week. I think it'd be that, and then Gordon's the only question mark. You could have someone else for 7.8 mil. Could you have Bowen? Just about. It'd be that. Bowen's the one question mark, because that's you're going to have a bench and headache there. Maybe someone cheaper. If I was on a wildcard, it'd be that 15. Just that one slot, I'm not sure on. Oh, Gusto's 4.1 mil now as well. So that's what I would look like if I was on a wildcard. I think you could go cheap in that Gordon slot and then just have the money in the bank. You don't have to spend it just because you got it. Right. Marcus says, watch out for Bournemouth. A gem team for FPL value. Yeah, I agree with that. They're absolutely killing it. Over the last 8 game weeks, they are 4th for expected goals conceded. So even Neto, Senesi, like Kirkez, really cheap options for 4.5 mil or less. And then we've got Solanke, obviously doing very well. 90 minutes a game pretty much on penalties. Good fixtures. I think I'm going to lock in this move now. I've got to be brave. I'm not going to just sit around. I'm going to just do it. We're doing it. Let us know in chat if you support this decision or if this is a massive mistake. Alright, let me refresh. Make sure it's all... There we go. And then I'm going to tweak my team. So Archer to Alvarez. Let me check for last minute leaks actually, just in case there's anything I need to be aware of. We're not going to have anything on Gordon. That's the annoying thing. Yeah, no Haaland is the big leak. So if you've got Haaland, he's a sell. It looks like there's nothing else. I'm going to do it. What's chat saying on it? Boom, mistake, YOLO, W Oscar. Mixed opinions. -8, come on, says Rahul. Dominic says let's go. Please work, says mistake. Anselm says attaboy. Yeah, it's very divided. Fan supports it. Any Doku news? I don't think we've had any. I think he might be out. Oh, I don't like -8s, but I feel like this. I think it's going to pay off over the next 4. Ask Teddy. Teddy's not here. I'm doing it. I'm going to be brave and do it. Make transfers. Archer to Alvarez. It's done. -8. I can't believe it. I can't remember the last time I took a -8. Maybe it was last season. I mean, that poses the question as well. Do I vice captain Alvarez? I think I will. Vice captain Alvarez. It's done. We're going big. That's not plus EV. It should be over the next 4. Just about. It's like plus 1.23 EV. We're ending that poll, and we're going to stick up a captain poll result. We're going to stick up a captain poll, and then I'm going to tweak my team quick. Son, Salah, Saka, and other. If you vote for other, let us know in chat. Oh, let me switch Pinnock and Gordon. Save that. Alright, there we go. Game week 17. Oh, God. I'm going to run out of characters for these moves. Cabore. Pedro Porro. If anyone joining late as well, these are the moves I've made. Haaland, Solanke, -4. Archer to Alvarez. -8. Salah captain, Alvarez vice. So Cabore to Pedro Porro, Haaland to Solanke. Archer to Julian Alvarez, and that's it. Let us know in chat, what did you do this week? What was your transfers? I'm interested to know what you guys are doing. I'll have a look at that in a sec. Let me post that. It's done. Oh, it's out there now. I'm going to get some stick for that. Let's see how that plays out. Make sure you subscribe for the next team selection video. That will be out on Wednesday, I think. And you can find out if that was a massive success or an absolute disaster. I think we have to measure it over the next 4 though to really see. Blair says bench 1 out of Martinelli, Isak, Darwin and Bowen. Thanks Vocal, love the show. I think it's got to be Martinelli. He's apparently recovered from illness, but does he start? Is he fully available? I think probably Martinelli, reluctantly. Wilson started in the Champions League, so that points towards an Isak start. Darwin, I think you have to play. Bowen, you have to play. So yeah, it has to be Martinelli. Thanks Felix for the super chat as well. Dusty says start 3 out of Gordon, Hwang, Elanga, Gross and Tsimikas. I would start Hwang, I would start Gordon, and I would start... I think I'd start Elanga. No, sorry, Tsimikas. Tsimikas, Gordon and Hwang. Thanks also to Saiban for the super chat. Thank you Felix and Saiban. Dan J says he's got Alvarez, Haaland and Darwin. I'm tempted to go Haaland to Solanke and Game18 Darwin to Watkins. Would it make more sense to go Haaland to Watkins and set and forget Solanke? It makes more sense to go Haaland to Watkins now, in my opinion. Yeah, I would do Haaland to Watkins. I think that's priority. Yeah, I'll do Haaland to Watkins. If I had to rank the Haaland replacements, it would be Watkins first, then Solanke, and then Alvarez. So do that first. Yeah, I would do that. Mark, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. Thanks very much for that, Mark. Thanks for all the gifted memberships this stream. What a crazy stream this has been. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to all the new members. If anyone's on Discord as well, then if you log into your YouTube account in settings, you get automatic access to the members channel where I post videos early. You get like the experts transfers data early before I finish the video. Get a badge by your name. The join button below the stream if anyone else wants to become a member. Oh, I'm going to breathe a big sigh of anxiety and relief once the deadline passes. I've taken a -8. 24k Will says, Focal, you're amazing on Sky Sports, you smexy little thing. Thanks very much, Will. Thanks for that. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, actually. Yeah, it was good fun. And they've already said, would I be interested in coming back on? So, yeah, hopefully it'll be a semi-frequent thing. I can't even dare look at Twitter right now and what people are saying to the moves I've made. It's aggressive, but I feel like sometimes you have to be aggressive. Craig says, opinions on possibly captaining Solanke took a -8. I don't hate it, but I think Salah's the standout. I really do. These are what the projections say this week. Salah's top, and then it's Alvarez, then Son, and then it's Solanke in 4th. So it's quite a big gap between Salah and Solanke on FPL Review's projections. So I just think Salah's the standout this week. And obviously Man United without Maguire, without Bruno Fernandes. They've got a terrible record at Anfield. I think everything points towards Salah captain, but I don't hate Alvarez, Son. Solanke's alright as well. But I mean, compare the two players, Salah and Solanke. I just think Salah is the obvious one, isn't he? Marcus, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships as well. Thanks for gifting more memberships there. They went to Tushaz, Seb, Sam, Polypoke and Luigi. Focal thumb emojis in the chat as a thank you to Marcus. Make sure you thank him if you got one of those. So captain poll results, 76% are on Salah, 16% Son, 3% Saka and 5% other. Who's your other? Who you vote other? Who's your other? I guess Solanke. Who else did we have on there? Some were saying Sterling earlier. John says, Oscar, I'm watching the sky now. Is that your pants on the rug? I hope not. Was it? Did I forget to clear everything up? Maybe my pants were on the rug. Oh no, that's embarrassing. What are the clean sheet odds? I'll pull those up quickly. These are the clean sheet odds for game week 17. And then we'll have a look at the goal scorer odds as well. Best Maguire replacement at similar price point. Probably Gusto. It's just a bit of a question mark if he plays this week, but he's 4.1 mil. Chelsea with a really good long run of fixtures. James is out for 3 months. It's just a slight question mark this week, but I think Gusto's probably the best for 4.2 mil and under. Shariat says, happy victory day from Bangladesh. Happy victory day to everyone tuning in from Bangladesh. Where's everyone tuning in from today? Whereabouts in the world are you? If you're on Twitter, tag me in a photo of wherever you're watching from, your stream setup, whether it's like on your TV or wherever you are. Take a photo of the stream setup and tag me on Twitter and I'll retweet it. Goal scorer odds. This week, Salah's top, 50%. Then it's Darwin. Then it's Son, Solanke, Sterling, Jackson, if he starts. The odds assume that they start. He probably does. Perth, Singapore, UK, Singapore. Portugal. Tuning in from the toilet. Sri Lanka, South Africa, Surrey, Thailand, Leeds, New Zealand, Nepal, Florida, Milton Keynes. Shout out to Milton Keynes. Serbia, Canada, Newcastle, Romania. A lot of South Africans tune in. And Australians. Fair play to the Aussies. It must be getting on a bit there. So, for anyone that's tuned in late, the 3 moves that I've made are Cabore to Pedro Porro, Haaland to Solanke, and Archer to Julian Alvarez. Jay Saunders says, took out Son Gameweek 14, how soon should I get him back? I think now is the perfect time. You still get 4 fixtures out of him before he goes to the Asian Cup. You don't want to leave it too late because it is a booked in transfer in 4 game weeks time. So you get Forest, Everton, Brighton and then Bournemouth, and then he's off for the Asian Cup. I'm not sure if I still got that graphic from... no, I don't. I lost it. The graphic on AFCON. Basically, after Game Week 20, players leave for AFCON and the Asian Cup. And then how long they're away depends on how far they go in the Cup. So they could be away till Game Week 26 at the latest. So we might not see Son for like 5 game weeks if he goes all the way to the final. Chris Raymer says, start Semenyo or Hwang? I'd start Hwang. It makes sense. He's on pens. West Ham just don't look like keeping clean sheets right now. Enshock says, folklore. It took a -8. He's gone Haaland, Archer, Guehi for Watkins, Porro and Solanke. Yeah, I like those moves. Honestly, I think this week, when we've got something massive like Haaland out, and the moves that allows you to make elsewhere, you can justify hits. I wouldn't normally take a -8 like that, but I think circumstance has made it an okay thing to do, in my team anyway. Maybe not the -8. Ask me in 4 game weeks. But yeah, I like those moves, Enshock. Thanks for the super chat. So yeah, if anyone's tuned in late, the news is that Haaland's out. We had the tweet from FPL Tony, who's reliable for City, and he said the early transfers gang won't be punished this time. And as I was saying at the start of the stream, I was told he's not even in the squad. So if you've got Haaland, there's a big edge to be had if you sell him. Because a lot of people are going to be keeping him. And they're going to get their auto subs. So, you know, people are going to have stuff like Archer auto subbing on for Haaland. And those sort of players that are, you know, probably, I say that now, Archer's going to score. But probably like 2 points off the bench. You know, or I've got Pinnock. He is home this week, but he's got Villa, so you'd imagine he concedes. So that's probably 2 points as well. Brandon says he's on -28 points on hits for the season already, but he's on 966. That's decent. So you're still beating me, even though you've taken -28 this season. Any Gordon news? Nothing really. It was Hal was pretty vague. This is what he said. Basically, Gordon's going to be assessed today ahead of tomorrow's game against Fulham. Trippier's suspended. And in terms of team news, Hal said it's pretty mixed. We're getting a couple of players back, but not in their best physical condition. And then you've got players that are having to keep playing that are picking up things. So that was probably in reference to Gordon and maybe others, because Gordon was forced off early in the Champions League against Milan. But there is still a chance he plays, maybe a chance he starts. Like, it's definitely not out of the question. But yeah, Alvarez is a bit of a risk with that in mind. Archer to Alvarez for a -12. It depends who you have to start if you don't make that move. Thanks very much, All Things Footy. Thanks for all the great comments and messages in chat today and the gifted memberships. Been an awesome stream. As I said earlier, it's been a really good day. I went on the FPL show for the first time, and that's on Sky Sports right now, actually, as we're speaking. So if anyone's watching from Sky and come over, then welcome to the stream. And we also passed 170,000 subscribers just before I went live. Aish in the chat. I haven't seen you for a while here, Aish. Welcome to the stream, Aish. Carliga says, any news about Areola? Yeah, the news is that he was on the bench in Europa League for West Ham. He returned to the matchday squad and he could regain his starting place. Obviously, it's not guaranteed that he comes back into the 11, but I'd say it's pretty promising the fact that he's back from injury. So he was named on the bench, so he's over that wrist injury. And that's everything we know about Areola. Jaganath, thanks for the super chat. He says, Captain Sterling Hall, surely. His other 2 scores against promoted sides are 16 and 19. Yeah, I said this actually on the FPL show earlier. He got like 19, didn't he, against Luton? Oh man, I'm getting PTSD from that Sterling transfer. Did anyone else pick him up after that 19-point haul and then he did nothing? Because that was a move I made and then he just did nothing. And then I got rid and I think he got the 16-point haul against Burnley. If I remember right. So yeah, anyway, he's got a great record against promoted teams. So that was against Luton and Burnley, and he's got Sheffield United this week. And he got the rest against Everton, I think I'm right in saying. So yeah, I don't hate the Sterling captaincy if you're looking for a differential. Best replacement for Haaland. The top 2 are Watkins and Solanke, so it depends which ones you've got or don't have, but I'd prioritise them in that order. Oh, sorry, Sam. 2 secs. Any chance Chris Wood starts, he asks. I don't know loads about Forest, if I'm totally honest, to answer that. But what we do know is that he's been benched, I think the last 2, right? Now, they got a draw, a respectable draw, against Wolves last game week. He didn't start game week 15, didn't start game week 16. I would say he probably doesn't start based on that. Like, that was a decent result for Forest without him leading the line. They're really missing a Wani, basically. So, I'd say if I had to guess, he probably doesn't start. I think it was Alanga that played up top, right? And Gibbs White. Brandon, thanks for the gifted membership. And that went to Sam Wansbone. Thanks very much for that, Brandon. Gordon to Sterling for a -8. I don't think I'd do that, Razvan. I don't think I would. Akanji, hard to say with the City defenders. It's a coin toss, isn't it? I'd say he probably does start. I forget if he played in the Champions League. What was the back line? I know Rico Lewis started, but that was, I think, in midfield. It was Gomez, Akanji, Stones and Lewis. So I think he probably does. Maybe Stones gets a rest because he's just back from injury. So if I had to guess, I'd say Akanji does. But yeah, a bit of a guess. -4 for Gusto, justified as a long-term move. The problem is we don't know 100% he plays this week because he's just back from injury. But long-term, like, it will be repaid, but it could be a bad one this week. You could take a hit for someone that doesn't even start. Chelsea could line up with 4 centre-backs at the back. It could be Colwill, Thiago Silva, Disasi, Badiashile on centre-back, Disasi right-back. Oh, that's possible. And James, as we know, out for 3 months. So if you've got James, he's an absolute sell. Pedro Porro is the same price, unless James has fallen since I last checked. I think they're both 5.4. Oblivious asks, I can't decide, start Tsimikas, Semenyo or Gordon. Yeah, that's a really tough one. They're very close this week. It's basically like you have to interpret if you think Gordon starts or not, and it's so hard to say. Like, he did come off early in the Champions League, but I don't think it was a severe one. And Hal has said, like, he's really good with his recoveries. I feel like you probably... It's between Gordon and Tsimikas, and I think you probably start Gordon. Very close. It's Gordon or Tsimikas. Go over your gut on that one. I wouldn't say Semenyo. It's Gordon or Tsimikas. Flanny says, join the Discord. Maybe Tsimikas, thinking about it, Oblivious. I think Tsimikas. Like, in Man United's last 8 visits to Anfield in all competitions, they've scored once. I think actually it makes sense to go Tsimikas. Yeah, if anyone's not in the Discord, that's the link. We've got over 13,000 FPL managers. There's channels for stuff like leaks and other useful FPL information. So get involved and join the Discord with that link if you're not a member. It's all completely free. And thanks for the nudge, Flandy. Would you do Darwin to Solanke? Nah, probably not. Like, Darwin was arrested midweek. And we've talked about the fixture. What a great fixture it is when Liverpool are home to Man United. Like, who remembers the 7-0 last season? I don't think it's the week to sell Darwin. I feel like you give him one more shot and then you sell him before Arsenal. Start Isak, Wilson or Trent. I think I'd give Trent the start there. Yeah, Trent. Welcome to the server, Sam Onesbone. Yeah, if you link your Discord account in settings to YouTube, then you get access to the channel. Yeah, if anyone's joining late, the Haaland news is that he does not start, and I was told he's not even in the squad. So if you've got Haaland, then he's a sell. Top 2 replacements, Watkins and Solanke, in that order, I would say. Just over 10 minutes till deadline. Keep your questions coming. If you've enjoyed this stream so far, then make sure you hit like on it and subscribe if you're new around here. Yeah, I'm not sure what the odds of me getting a green this week are on the -8, but we have to measure it over the next 4 really. I just think based on Pep's comments, Haaland's out longer than he led on. So if I can get Everton and Sheffield United with Alvarez as their main focal point, chucked in focal there, the main focal point of their attack, then I think Alvarez is going to be an absolute gem, even with that blank. And in that blank, obviously, I just start Gordon when he's away to Luton. Best 5th midfielder, if you're looking for a cheap one, it's got to be Palmer. I know he's on 4 yellows, but I'd say Palmer given the fixtures. Such a nice run of games for Chelsea. Sheffield United, Wolves, Palace, Luton, Fulham. Liverpool, obviously, not great, but you could probably bench him for that cheap. And then Wolves and Palace again. That's interesting. Over the next 7, they've got Wolves and Palace twice. Sam Rose says, start Areola or Dubravka. Clean sheet odds are so similar, so just gut feeling. Yeah, this week, they are super similar, very close, yeah. So go with your gut. Perhaps you could also decide it based on if you've got a Newcastle defender, because that's a nice way to hedge your bets, you know. Like if you've got Lascelles or Livramento, maybe Cher, then you could hedge your bets a bit by going Areola. But yeah, it's quite close. You know, when it's 2.5%, it's just negligible basically. So you go with your gut. Like last week, I started Turner over Areola because it was not much difference. It was like 5%. And as expected, they both conceded. Turner got 1 point extra, so nothing in it. But yeah, it's basically a gut feeling when it's that close. Like it's alright to pick one over the other for the sake of 2.5%. Solanke or Trent on a wild card? On a wild card, I'd have both. I'd have both on a wild card. Solanke or Watkins? Watkins. I mean, game week 18, Aston Villa are home to Sheffield United, and Watkins is going to be one of the most captain players in the game. So you don't want to hit this week without Watkins. I mean, he's 43% owned already. That's going to go up by 18. So it's got to be Watkins. And Mbumo to Iwobi for a -8. Fulham scoring for fun. No, I wouldn't take a -8 for Iwobi. Not worth it. I wouldn't do that. Just get rid of Mbumo next week. I mean, Fulham are away to Newcastle. That's a tough fixture. I know Newcastle are struggling right now, but they are starting to get players back from injury. Like Botman could make the bench. The Discord link doesn't work. Are you serious? Why is that? I can create a new one. What was I going to say? Yeah, they're getting players back from injury. Longstaff could be back. He came off the bench in the Champions League. Was no one able to join with that link? Or is some people... No, Lowe's joined with that link. Looks alright for me. Look in the welcome channel. Go to Porro for a hit, or do I just start Cabora and get Porro next week? I would take the hit, please work. I did the same thing. I sold Cabora for Pedro Porro. I think it's fine, because the next 4 are just such great fixtures that in theory that hit should be repaid. North Banguna, now you're Oscar, now you're a TV star, can have your autograph. I'm not a TV star. I'll happily sign something though. I've never been asked for an autograph. That would be funny the day that happens. Alvarez or Solanke? Solanke. A lot of questions about Solanke and Alvarez. I'd say Solanke edges it because he's got the extra fixture. When Alvarez blanks, he's got Forest away. I did not laugh you picking Solanke last week. There's no way. Did I? Maybe I would have said I'd get Watkins instead or something like that. I hope you get to play in the Sidemen charity match next year. That would be cool, yeah. I play football every week, so it'd be great if they got someone from the FPL community involved. That'd be awesome. Pretty much the whole Sidemen follow me on Twitter, so maybe it'll happen. Who knows? -4 to do Soufal to Porro. Maybe just about justifiable, but that one's close. Like, it's different to Kabore to Pedro Porro, but I just think Pedro Porro is such a good pick right now. He's playing out of his mind. He's taking all the set pieces with Maddison out. You know, he's taking some free kicks, indirect free kicks, corners. He's got so many routes to points right now. What position are you? I play centre mid, but I'm left footed, so I can play left back as well. Any Turner news? I'm fully expecting him to keep his spot. He came back in last game week. Decent result, 1-1 draw away to Wolves. I'm fully expecting Turner to play. So I wouldn't worry about that. The FPL website's down. Is it actually? We've got 6 minutes till deadline. It's alright for me. Yeah, if anyone's tuned in very late, Haaland reportedly not in the squad to face Crystal Palace. So if you've got him, he's a sell. I wonder how many have sold Haaland now since we checked earlier. It's gone up a bit, 1.3 million. Let's refresh that. 1.396 million. What's Haaland's ownership now? Let us know in chat. Alex ND, we've seen a banger at Anfield, so if Theo is injured, you could easily step in. You've seen the banger. Oh yeah, that free kick at Anfield. I'd love to be involved, Alex. That'd be a dream come true to be involved in that. Yeah, that was a day I'll never forget, scoring the worldie. I mean, some people argue the keeper should have done better, but maybe he let it in. I wonder if I can find that clip. Probably not. No, I can't find it. Anfield? No, I'm going to have to give up on that. Oh yeah, I found it. Here we go. This is me when I played. Top bins. Although someone went, yes, focus. I didn't have the heart to correct them that I'm actually focal. Areola updates. Areola was on the bench for West Ham in Europa League, so everything points towards him starting again, regaining his spot. The knee slide was better. The knee slide was good, yeah. Knee slide to absolutely no crowd at all. What do you mean the Emirates knee slide in the corridor? Take a bow, focus. I know. I didn't have the heart to tell him. That was James Alcott, by the way. He goes, yes, focus. Really nice guy, James Alcott. He's so sound. I was chatting to him for quite a while about YouTube and all that. Yeah, that was James Alcott that called me focus. But he's such a lovely guy. I didn't have the heart to say it's focal. It'd be the wrong time as well. Like, you score a free kick, you're buzzing, and then you're like, sorry, it's actually focal. Focus for triple cap. They need to make a fantasy game out of the Sidemen charity match. That would be class. Kermie, thanks for the super chat. We've got 3 minutes till the deadline, so keep your questions coming in. Michael Gillespie, Solanke and Son from -4, or Simicast to Son from -8. No, the first one. Definitely the first one. Simicasta Sun. I'm not sure I get that one, but I would definitely do the first one without the extra hit, Michael. Solanke and Sun -4. Rousey says -8 for Gordon and Guay to Sun and Porro. I don't think I'd tell Gordon. He's got, like, he could start against Fulham. That's a genuine possibility. But then after that, he's got Luton and Forest. I don't think I would do it. I would just do Guay to Porro. And then I'd sell someone else rather than Gordon if you can, but I wouldn't do it for a -8. I would just do Guay to Porro. That makes sense for -4. So yeah, if anyone's tuned in last minute news, Haaland doesn't start. What's this from FPL Tony now? Yeah, Haaland doesn't start, not in the squad. And I think that's all we've had in terms of leaks. I've sold Kabore to Pedro Porro. I did Haaland to Solanke, and I did Archer to Alvarez. So it's a -8. Make sure you subscribe for next game week's team selection video. I think that's going to be out on Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. So we'll have to see how the -8 went and whether I somehow get a green. Hopefully over the next 4 it's a green. But yeah, this week not looking good. Bench Gordon or Lascelles. I'd bench Lascelles. I think you have to back the attacker there. Bench Lascelles. Flandy says, thanks for the stream, boss. Thanks for tuning in, Flandy, and everyone else that made it. I hope you all enjoyed this deadline stream. Is there anyone that we could raid who's live right now? Let's have a quick look. So yeah, I've captained Salah. Vice captain is on Alvarez. I can't even get on the website now to check if that has saved. I think it has. Yeah. Alright, who's live? Filters, live. Yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed the stream. If you have, then make sure you drop it a like before you go. What about FPL Fran? Should we head over to him? Godspeed to FPL Spaceman. I know, his segment was so good in today's video. I was laughing, genuinely laughing, recording that. Yeah, let's head over to FPL Fran. I'll chuck his stream in the chat. Head over to there and spam Focal Raid in his chat. Or something to that effect. I was wondering whether he was going to bring Alvarez, so I'm going to go check now if he did the same. He was looking at the same move, Archer to Alvarez. Kermit says, thoughts on Gustav, Trips and Porro. You missed the deadline, Kermit. That is the deadline. We've just hit it. It's passed. I think it's fine to wait a week anyway. We don't know if Gustav is going to start. So I'd give it a week and then look to make that move in game week 18 instead. Thanks all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll be back for more content probably on Sunday, every day until the next game week after this one. So that's it from me. Focal out.